Hello, everyone. Welcome to American Scouser's PreMatch show. We are less than half an hour away from kickoff. The lineup is out. Blake is with us. Sergi is with us. This is going to be a very nervous pre-match show with me and Sergi on at the same time. Let's take a look at the lineup over here. I mean, Blake, there's really no surprises at all.
Nope.
Knowing that, Gakpo is out. And he's not even on the bench. So, like, he did travel, but he's not even on the bench. So there's really no surprises, no, twists or anything like that.
Yeah, they've had over a week rest, so they should be good to go.
Well, that's another thing, right, Sergi? I mean, this squad has been rested now. Obviously, Robertson comes in for Costas. We kind of expected that. Like I said, the back line. I mean, when you take Gakpo out right now, I think that kind of automatically, or if you took Diaz out, I think it would be the same way, right? Because if you take those guys out, the front line fills itself as well with Mo on one side and Jota in the middle. If Diaz was there and Gakpo was there, you don't know if Diaz is going to slide to the middle or anything like that. But, I mean, what is your thought on the lineup? I mean, it's pretty much a basic standard issue lineup at the moment. So how confident are you going into this game?
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like everyone is nervous, and I'm not. So I'm beginning to.
Really? I'm not either.
Am I supposed to be nervous? I don't know.
So are you not nervous because of the matchup? Are you not nervous? Because I'm not nervous as much as I normally would be. Mainly because, I mean, I've talked about this all week. When you do the hierarchy of all the trophies, the big one we're very close to. So I know it's the Champions League, but seems like an icing on the cake kind of a scenario.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at it, I think this is probably our toughest game of the season. Like match for match, player for player, and performance for performance. The PSG running away that league, which it's hard to tell. Are they running away the league because they're that good, or everyone else is really bad? And we're talking about being bad of a poor league. So it's like the Tottenham game, the League Cup, the semi-final game. We know it's 2 legs. It's like basically 4 quarters. So, yeah, I mean, if we get a good result and we win today, I think it's the next game is going to be, I think maybe formalities, inverted commas. Maybe I'll get nervous as the game goes on, and it's funny because I remember when we played Barcelona all them years ago, and I wasn't that nervous then, and suddenly we're 3-0 down, and I thought the world had ended. But then it literally happened. We're on the precipice of winning the league, maybe, and and so I thought, oh, now we're not going to win anything because we knew Man City was going to end up winning that league. But this it's just weird. It's maybe because it's 2 legs and it's PSG. Maybe I don't know, because as good as they are, they've got to one final since they've been taken over by Abu Dhabi or Qatar, or wherever it was, and it just as good as the players are and they're worrying. I don't have that nervous feeling.
Yeah, see, our calmness, I usually get the reverse. Like when everybody's like, we're going to win 4-1 and stuff before a league game, I get nervous because everybody's way too calm. But, I mean, we played top teams, Blake. We've played Real, we played Leverkusen. I mean, obviously, we play like teams like City and Arsenal and stuff in the league. And this team has done well against them. But in most cases, all those games you could make up for. I mean, this is still 2-leg, I guess. But, it wasn't a lot of pressure when you face Leverkusen and Real Madrid because it was part of the 8-game scenario and stuff. How do you think this team will respond to these? Are like higher stakes now than.
Well, I mean, you look at Man City. You look when we played Man City and Real Madrid. Both weren't good defensively. And then I've looked at the last 8-9 games that PSG had, and they're not giving up many goals. They're solid defensively. They got a lot of young, good players on their squad. I'm confident. I'm always confident because of our attacking and those midfielders. But at the same time, I'm still a little worried, because you got Robo back there, who he could end up being a liability depending on who he's going against. I don't know, it's a big game, and PSG is flying right now. That's what has me nervous.
But that's the thing, right? I mean, I think we're less nervous because they're flying in the French league, where we might be able to put together a team and do semi-decent. It feels like sometimes when you watch some of these games. I mean, I watched them a few games in the Champions League, like basically against City and stuff like that, Sergi, and they are very dangerous. They always are, because they always spend the money and have players that can make an impact, but they rarely face opposition like us. So it's more, I think, about how we kind of like respond to like higher level Champions League opposition. I think it's more for PSG to respond to playing against tougher teams, because I mean, obviously they don't face solid teams regularly in the French league.
Yeah, but I think it's even with the City game, it's hard to judge on that because they play a City that's free falling, and they just about kind of won that. I mean, City kind of imploded. So again, it's just hard. It's just how it's so hard to see where they truly are. I mean, you look at the players that they have. I mean, the front four worry me. We've got, I can't even pronounce his name, but covered that guy that we were trying to buy that we didn't buy.
The guy that we were rumored with, like many other guys.
Well, supposedly we offered 100 million for him in the summer and to loan him back, but they rejected it, and actually rejected it. But anyway, Dembele's on form. Barcola's on form. Then you've got Neves, so they've got attacking. And I guess, like, to Blake's point, obviously you've got Robertson and you've got Trent on the other side, who are going to feel the forefront of their forwards. And, they've got Hakimi, who's, I think, is a better version of Trent in the defensive sense. And obviously he can attack and run up and down that field. But again, I mean, where do they finish in the Champions League? I don't know whether they just didn't take it seriously enough, or so it's just really hard to decipher where they really stand. If they're in the Premier League, maybe they'll finish in the top four, given the players that they have. But it's just such a hard one to call. The other thing that got me more nervous was Arsenal winning yesterday. And that was it. That's the only thing that got me more nervous about today's game. It's like, well, I can't handle them fans. Like, if he loses, and then he's going to have the crap from them. But no, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not that familiar with their squad aside from their starting 11. I'm not too familiar with their depth and stuff like that. I know that midfield is dangerous as well. I mean, that Neves kid is really solid. Vitinha can be dangerous going up and stuff like that. And Fabian Ruiz gives you some like defensive stability and stuff. That front three can be dangerous. I think, when you talk about Hakimi on that side, that Robertson is going to be on Blake, it almost feels like I'm happier to see Diaz out there, because one is somebody with more top speed that's, Hakimi has to worry about running behind him. And two, I feel like Diaz tracks back a lot more than Gakpo does.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I totally forgot they had Hakimi. He's fun to watch.
Well, hopefully not today, but yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, he's dangerous going up there. That's the thing. This team has a lot of speed. I guess one thing that makes me confident, Sergi, is that we don't play as open as we used to.
Yeah.
Like, I would think Slot, knowing the weapons they have, and key part of all those three is speed. Like, he will take action accordingly to cover, Robertson and Trent, so that we're not as exposed in the back, especially in the first leg where we're away.
Yeah, and I think
is their goaltender any good? I haven't heard much about him.
Donnarumma, really? No, I mean, he's good stuff. I mean, like he was at one point, he was going to be, like one of the top. I don't think he's top, but I mean, he is extremely solid.
Yeah. I forgot what you asked me now.
What was that? I'm sorry?
I forgot what you asked me just now.
In terms of like Slot making adjustments to cover
yeah.
Trent and like Robertson and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, last time we played PSG was with Klopp. You know, they had Neymar and we had Milner. You know, it's but you know, and we still got the job done. And I mean, they couldn't handle Robertson. They couldn't handle Firmino, Mane, and Salah. I think with Slot being more controlled, and pretty much a similar kind of tool set that Klopp had, I think we can control the game a bit more. I think PSG are going to come out trying to fly out, fly out from the start and start attacking us, which they might get a goal like early on, unless the defense can really control themselves and just basically absorb the pressure and then just catch them on a counter attack. I think we give a lot of credit to the plays that they have, but then as much as we fear their attack, I know they fear ours. You know, we're obviously having Salah and Jota and Diaz, and obviously we've got the best keeper in the world and the best centre back in the world. So it's a good game for the neutral, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's just whether hopefully we can catch PSG in like a full sense of I guess dominance for them, because they're just running away in a league which I wouldn't say even Arsenal could win it because they couldn't win a league, but maybe maybe it's a league that Chelsea could win.
I don't know, man. Like when I look at this matchup over here, like I say, the speed part of it like really worries me. But the first game away is always good because you can kind of like keep him in front of you and see what you can do. We are dangerous on the counter. I mean, when I watched them in the past, like in that City game, if you kind of control the pace of the game, Blake, which City did at one point, and City took the lead on that game, right? Do I remember this right? They took the lead, and then PSG just came back and scored a ton of goals. And I think it was mainly because it became a basketball game. And when it becomes a basketball game, this team can run. Like PSG can really run on you. And if they have space, they can capitalize. So it feels like the more compact you keep these guys, the more difficult it is for them because they're not as used to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we can, with Trent playing, I think if the long pass is there, you're going to see some bombs. If Trent's open, or not Trent, but if Mo's open or Diaz, you're going to see some Trent bombs, and hopefully it paves it. A couple of them go in for us. I'd love it. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I'd love to keep them compact, but with the talent they have on that team, I think it's going to be playing like kind of playing Real Madrid in a way.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I don't know, like they have so many weapons, and that midfield is like I say, no slouch. I really like that Neves kid. Like every time I watch him, I'm like, man, he would fit like a glove and stuff like that. But I think we're kind of like
him more.
Oh, really? I mean, I know when he was in Portugal, he was really solid too. But you never know sometimes when these guys go to top leagues out there going to adjust. And I thought, I mean, he's fun to watch too. Unfortunately, I mean that's the thing, PSG usually goes after these guys that are fun to watch. They have a lot of speed and all that kind of stuff. But going into the game though, do you think? Like the first goal, it feels like Sergi would not scare anybody off. Like, if we concede knowing that the second game is on Anfield and stuff, and for them, they are going to know, they already know, been there, done that coming to Anfield in the second leg, they do need a better cushion to be able to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously they've seen it before, with Barcelona winning 3-0 and they still ended up losing. So I don't know how many of them PSG players have experienced Anfield, but I think Luis Enrique, he's not mug. He's going to try and get this game done today and just try and get that lead and hopefully lead, and for obviously hopefully for them that they'll try and sit back on that and try and see the game out. So even if they win, they think they might win 3 or 2 or 3-0 today. Even if they lose 1-0 next week, the job's done for them. But I don't think that's how they play. I think they play similar to how we played under Klopp, and again, that I think that false sense of entitlement or false sense of where they really truly belong and amongst the Europe elite it's just that just because of the league that they're playing in, I don't think they really truly know how to take us. I mean, I know what Neves is saying, which did make sense. That we have a great team of individuals, but they're a better team. I don't see how why you would say that. We're probably the best team in the world in terms of teamwork and what we play for each other. We individually we've got players like Robertson and who probably wouldn't get into any of the top 5 Premier League teams. So now it's nice that people kind of write us off, and because we just end up showing what we're truly about. I was watching all these podcasts yesterday. It's like everyone's thinking that PSG might win it today because of Dembele and everything else, but we literally have the Ballon d'Or winner in our team right now. We have the best defender in the world and the best goalkeeper in the world. And probably the best centre back pairing in the world right now. So
one of the best up and coming middle infielders.
McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gramovich. I don't.
Yeah.
I think they're a level above what we had with Henderson and Fabinho and Ronaldo. On paper, like I say, I mean, we should win this. And given obviously that we see Liverpool play week in, week out, and knowing that our league is a lot stronger than the French league, I don't think it should be a problem. It's just, if you're playing FIFA, then it's a problem because you look at the forward line and it's just like immense.
I think the biggest thing is, that, you have a lot of experience on our team, a lot of players who've been there, done that at this level, even higher levels, won the whole shebang and stuff like that. So that has to be a big plus compared to going to a team that can kind of have gaps in pressure. I mean, they're honestly, we were talking about this on the Monday night podcast. I mean, probably Enrique is probably their biggest strength in some ways, because I'm hoping PSG feels the pressure to finish this in the first leg, because that's, I think, when we can have them if they feel like they have to and they attack. I would think Enrique is smarter than that, and he will take a similar approach to Slot in terms of not leaving the back too open, knowing you can have Mo Diaz and somebody like Jota who can really take advantage of center backs with his movement and stuff can hurt. But we'll give everybody some time to get settled in and get in front of their TVs, tablets, whatever it might be. But on the way out, let's finish with some predictions. Blake, throw me your prediction for the game.
I think it's going to be 2-1 heading back to Anfield. Liverpool.
2-1, good guy.
Liverpool.
Okay.
The good guy.
Thursday.
Part of me feels like we're going to lose this. I'll go on Blake's thing. I think we'll win this 2-1.
Damn, I think I said 2-1 on Monday, so I might as well stick with the 2. But I mean, honestly, a 2-1, any win, I think even a draw kind of is a decent result to come back to. But a win kind of goes a long way in terms of being able to, come back to Anfield comfortable, knowing, you have the Southampton game this weekend and don't have anything after else and stuff like that. I have faith in these boys. But we'll be back for the post-match over here, so do tune in for that right after the game. And hopefully we'll be talking about a Liverpool win over here. But we'll see you guys then. Enjoy the game and up the Reds.